My friend, Murphy's Law is what could go wrong will go wrong. And doesn't that happen in life? It's not only that you lost your job and now you can't pay your rent, and then you apply for a new job, but then they never got back to you. And then all of a sudden, your tire gets popped. Or it's just when you're going through the most difficult time, life just gets worse. And that is exactly how Naomi felt. Naomi, her and her husband and two sons left Israel. Her husband was the richest guy. He left Israel because he didn't want to support the Jewish people. He went to Moav. There her sons married two women, one Rus, one Orpah. But then, tragedy struck. Her husband passed away and both of her sons passed away, and they lost all the money. So Orpah, of course, leaves her. Rus says, I'm with you, wherever you go, I'm going to go. Whatever happens, it will happen to me. And Naomi had her last strategy, how she's going to solve the problem. First of all, she looks like a wreck. She left dressed as the fanciest woman. Now, she doesn't have makeup. Her dress is ripped. She's a mess. So she wants to go through the cemetery where most people usually don't hang out. Go through the cemetery. Second of all, she had a relative whose name was Boaz, and he was very wealthy. And she said, listen, we'll ask him for food. The problem is, Rashi says, Ein derech hatznios ledaber im anoshim. Modest women don't talk to men. So she was going to speak to Boaz as his wife. That was the strategy. Could you imagine her shock when she came into the cemetery in Beis Lechem? The whole town was there. Because the hashgacha pratis, what could go wrong goes wrong. Went ad kedei kach that Boaz's wife died the day she showed up. And first of all, everyone sees her, she's embarrassed. And she asks who passed away. Boaz is his wife. Now she has no one to talk to, she has no hope. Or her last hope, the flame of her last hope was extinguished. And people started looking at her and saying, I recognize you from somewhere. Are you Naomi? Which in Hebrew, Naomi means sweet. And Naomi said like this, she said, no, Al tikri'i Naomi. Don't call me Naomi because my life is not sweet. Call me Mara, call me bitter. Because Heimar shakai li me'oid. God made my life extremely, extremely bitter. Chassam Sofer says that this is a lesson for our life. When the lights are turned off and life cannot get worse, but something even worse happens and it can't get any worse after that, I want to give up. But a Yid with Bitachon, says Chassam Sofer, could open up the story of Rus and draw out Bitachon from the story. Because the first letters of those four words, Heimar shakai li me'oid, God made my life very bitter, spell shloima. So first of all, not only her plan was to get some charity, some tzedakah from Boaz. Now Rus is going to marry Boaz. So first of all, financially, she's the wife, she's getting all the money. Number two is, Mimeno beis David, Mimeno beis Melech HaMashiach. From this union, the marriage of Rus and Boaz, David HaMelech was born. Not only that, Shlomo HaMelech, which the 30 years that Jews had the most successful economy, there was no wars, Ish tachas gafnoi, Ish tachas teinasei, was the time of Shlomo HaMelech. So what we're learning from the lesson of Rus, as Chassam Sofer, is that what in life looks like the biggest tragedy, things are so terrible, it can't get worse. That's where your solution is going to come from. That's where the blessing is going to come from. Not just any blessing, but the bigger the problem, the bigger the blessing. Have a wonderful Shavuos. Kabbalas HaTorah, B'simcha Uvipnimi.